Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny. Got a special guest in the building. It's Persuasion.
What's good? What's good?
What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate you coming out, man. How's life treating you?
Life's going good, you know.
Doing your thing.
He's going with the flow.
Sun's shining.
Yep, sun's shining finally. I'm glad about that.
Me too, man. Let's get it. Though.
Just getting started.
Just getting started, man. 2023, second quarter already.
All right, it's going by quick.
It's going by, man. So, Persuasion, I see you've been doing your thing. I see you running around. I see you making music. But I know for the Vigilante viewers, they want to hear a little bit about where you grew up and how you got into making music in the first place. So,
yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Scarborough, Scarlem. I've been there for like all my life. I'm still in there like just now too. But I grew up around, Scarborough area.
Did you call it Scarlem?
I did call it Scarlem.
I heard that before.
I always say that. I think because my brother like said it one time and it's always stuck to me. And then I just like put it in my song one time. I was like, "Baddie from the Scarlem," and I'm like, okay, that's my thing now.
Yo, you gotta trademark that.
Right? I gotta start using that more for that.
I
for that
trademark.
trademark.
Is that like Harlem, Scarborough?
Harlem, something like that. You know, give that little.
I love that, man. Because Scarborough's always been like a place where a lot of things happen.
Yeah, no, it's like that. It's like, kind of like it's not really a big like area like town. Right. It's like kind of small, like, but it's things be happening there. It's lit there. So
it is lit there. Like, it's a kind of a cultural hub.
Yeah, no, definitely it is like that.
A lot of people in the city, you do a little bit of background check. They're probably from Scarborough.
A lot of people usually like a lot of people I run into tell me they're from Scarborough, and I'm like, I didn't even know that. Mm-hmm.
It's a poppin' place, man.
Yeah.
So you're growing up in Scarborough. What were you? What kind of led you into the music lane?
So when I was younger, I always just loved music, and I was always listening to music. My mom was kind of the one who mainly put me on.
Okay.
She once she realized I could sing, she was like, okay, I gotta get her into like classes, gotta get into all this stuff. So she kind of just put me out there. Like she got connected me with people in like events, and I started doing competitions and like pageants at a young age. And I started to go to art school like when I was around 8, and I was there for about like 5 years, most of my childhood. And it really just started from there, and like the more I did it, the more like, realized I had a passion for it. And then once I grew older, that's where I wanted to like take it off on like my own and write my own music.
Okay.
So
sick.
yeah.
A little natural transition.
Yeah, when I was younger, it was mostly like just doing like covers and like doing stuff for like other girls, and and like those type of like, those little like Broadway little shows, like they had like those type of things like they did like when I was younger too. Yeah, like basically like school plays, but like in an art school like vibe. Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So were you like pressing your mom, like put me into this stuff, or she just saw it right away?
Well, she basically just like saw it right away. Honestly, when I was younger, like I was really into it when I was young, but then the more like I guess when I got to like the little preteen areas, that's when I got more like, okay, going here, going there, taking pictures. Okay, it's too much. I just want to go out with my friends. But I'm really glad she put me into that, because now it makes me like how the person I am today, and all those skills are just kind of like muscle memory now. So, but I mainly wanted to do it. But like since my mom was so like, she really like helped me get me out there and always motivated me. So it was more like a team thing. Like she really wanted me to, and even to this day she still supports me. Every day I wake up and she's playing my music still to this day. So she's always been a supporter. Yeah,
she's a Persuasion fan.
Yeah, but she always like lets me do my thing, whatever I'm happy with. But yeah, I always loved to do it. So when I was younger, like I was definitely the one who was like, keep me on it, so I can.
Very cool. She probably saw that in you too. Like.
Yeah, she saw it for sure, and she's like, no, I gotta get her, put her on those and make sure I keep her like, motivated.
I love that, because also too, like, your mom's gonna tell you if.
Yeah, she's gonna tell me what's real, what's not. She's gonna tell me what's up no matter what, and that's what I always liked. Because when I was younger, if I like, didn't do a certain thing the way like I usually be doing it, and she knows like how I am. She knows I could do something like better than I would, say if I messed up. She would be like, oh, like she always be like, give me good pep talk still, but she's always like, you can do better than that. You gotta like work for that. You gotta like fight for that, and that's when like kind of made me like, okay,
Real shit.
Yeah.
That kind of instills that good work ethic at a young age too.
Yeah,
you know?
it does. It does. And she like always been like supportive too. She wasn't always like she's always been like have that support and love and care for me and stuff. So it was now to this day really helped me with a lot of things I come encounter with.
I love that, man. Shout out to mom.
Shout out to moms.
Most important people in the game.
Right.
What you were singing covers? Who were some of the?
Oh, when I was younger, I was really into. My mom put me into like the R&B soul tracks. So like Whitney Houston, Christina Aguilera, and even like Ariana Grande. When I got more into my preteens, I was starting to do stuff like that, and more like those type of singers, like R&B soul.
Those big voices.
Big voice, like Beyonce. Actually, Beyonce was like one of my like all-time favorite artists, performers. And that's where kind of like she was one of my inspirations when I was younger for like what type of music I want to be singing. So like that R&B soul, like even Jennifer Hudson. Like have you watched Dreamgirls before?
Yeah, with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that's like that show that kind of made me like, okay. Like when I was younger, I watched that over and over again. That was like my movie. And that's when I was like, okay, I want to do all that. I want to do all that entertaining stuff.
That's a good like music role model to have.
It is like for me like it was a really good music role model to have because like now to this day like all the skills like I even what I put into my performance and all that stuff I kind of like get inspired from Beyonce still to this day even from when I was younger because just the way she always performed it's like how I'm a dancer too, so she's a dancer as well, so I've always been like so in awe about how she does her shows and everything, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta give it my all like how she does. That's where I kind of get my alter ego from too.
Your alter ego.
Yeah, when I be like putting my performance on, that's my alter ego comes out because I'm usually in the like a little shy sometimes, just like trying to like get myself prepared, and then once I'm on that stage it's just like she was like shy and now she's like doing all this stuff. That's how it be sometimes.
That's how it be, man. I like that you said alter ego because I think a lot of people are like that where, behind the scenes, maybe chill a little bit, but the camera's on.
When the camera's on, when you're on that stage, it's a whole different, like, thing.
We got to turn up.
You got to, turn up for sure.
Hell yeah. So you started going to art school. Did that push you a little harder even?
Oh, yeah, it definitely did. Once I got into art school, it's like they had, like, a bunch of teachers there, too, and, like, mentors who were, they're the one training you. And they definitely, like, they put me through a lot of, like, what's called classes and a bunch of, like, different type of training stuff. Like, even when I was younger, I remember when I had to, like, I did a class one time where I had to, like, lie down and do, like, sing and do, like, vocal training. And I used to be like, why the heck do I gotta, like, do all this? And then, but in the future, it kind of, like, I guess it's kind of, like, for skills and breath control and stuff. So it kind of taught me, okay, like in the back of my head, I remember certain stuff from like when I was in like art school.
Right. Okay. That's so interesting for someone like me who has no singing experience or background. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What the heck?
Explain it.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta control your voice. You gotta max it out.
It comes with practice. Like especially if you're doing like for me when I do like big vocal type of tracks sometimes like what I put in my music and I do dance with that as well. So it's like you really got to work on breath control, especially if you be a smoker too. Me, I'm a little bit of a high, but it's like with that too, with it, it's like, hey, you got to make sure your breath control is like on point when you're doing like a live show or a live video, whatever. Even when I'm in the studio, got to make sure, it's on point.
That's a really good point because I'm sure too when you're about to perform you have some nerves and like adrenaline and that changes.
Yeah, usually when I used to like when I first started out like I used to just like turn up before my shows and like whatever. It went good, but like I noticed a big difference when I started to not like smoke or like drink before my show. Like after I do whatever I want, but before it's always like it was good for me to like do that and like just prepare myself because once I'm out there I'm able to give it my all and like my vocals are like warmed up. And yeah.
That's real shit, man. You're giving me like an understanding of what really goes on.
I like that. That's what I want, That's what I want like people to like, get from me, like that vibe,
Hell yeah, because I talk to like more rappers than singers.
Yeah,
and they never talk about like voice
control. Especially when it's in like Toronto. Like, well, me coming from like my childhood background is because just what I like was taught growing up. Yeah. So I was just always taught that it comes with practice. It doesn't just like if you want to do like a whole like show you vision like me. I always have a vision for how I want a show or a music video to go or a song to go. I'm always like if I want it to be like that, I have to practice. If I want it to be like a certain way, because I'm very precise. So I'm like. I gotta do it over again until I'm like, okay, it clicks and it's like, okay, all right, ready.
It's like it's the most challenging thing, but it's so simple. Like just
Yeah.
keep doing it.
It's just like kind of like doing it like every day, like one time every day, and then you're good. You have it warmed up, and then when you're leading up, you do a little bit more, and then
It's working out, man.
yeah, it becomes like
Exercise.
muscle memory, and then you're good. It all comes naturally. Like even without practice, it usually comes naturally. But it's saying like it just like works out better. Like it feels like this like clicks.
100%. That's real as fuck, man. So you were doing the covers, singing Beyonce.
Yeah.
When did you start deciding to write your own stuff and make your own type of music?
Okay, so it's kind of when I got to like high school, because before I even like got into writing my own music, I wasn't really doing music like that anymore. So I kind of graduated from my performing arts school, and I started being a teacher there. So when I first started getting into high school, grade 9, I was like a teacher for little kids, for little girls, and doing hip hop. So I was more like into dance. So I was kind of more training myself in hip hop. I got into my school. I went to my high school was an all girls school.
Okay.
And the only reason why I wanted to go to that school was because they had a really good dance team. And it was like they held a show there every year, which was called Dance Off, and they had like all the high schools come there, and we had like a big show with like even performers there as well. But I remember seeing that video like at open house, and I'm like, hey, I want to be here because of the competitive dance team. And when I got there in grade 9, I tried out, and I was able to make it on the team. And I started just doing that for a while. And at the end of the year, I was co-captain too, but then COVID happened. So I wasn't even able to do my whole choreography thing. But I was doing that for a while, doing dance. And then when I got to grade 11, I guess it came with like, all the little heartbreaks and all the, I don't know, I was just, smoking a blunt one day, and it just came to me. And I was just like, I played a beat, and I've been trying to write music though, and it never really clicked to me like when I was around then, when I was in grade 10. I just, then it just clicked to me one day, and I made my first song, and it was Dead to Me. That's like the first song I had out. And yeah, that's when I started writing my own music, and then it just went up from there. I just kept, practicing, getting back into my music again. And yeah.
I love that, man. Practice, dancing, smoking a blunt, it all comes in handy. Man.
It does.
It all leads to what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
That's cool though that you were teaching kids.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was fun. It was funny because it just kind of took me back to like how I was when I was younger. Honestly, when I was younger, I was a little bit like, I was super sassy. Okay. So like dealing with like that, like other little sassy girls, it was fun. It was a little bit like, oh, that's a lot. But it was fun to, teach them, and they all ended up doing good, and it was a good experience for me.
Amazing. I might be talking shit, but I feel like that experience could help you with performing too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When you're, like, teaching people, kind of like, you're still teaching yourself. Me, every time, like, even when I have my backup dancers now, right, which are my girls who even, like, I said I went to school for a dance team. They were on my team as well. Until this day, they do performances with me, and we still, like, hang out, and they, we go to practices like before we do like performances or like a music video, and like I be teaching the choreography, or they be like, we all take turns usually, and it does like, it helps for sure. You just gain more creativity and ideas, and this comes, the skills come in. Yeah.
Super true. And you're developing that chemistry too.
Yeah, that too is really important. And me and my girls, we always had that type of chemistry. That's why they're still always down to do, whatever type of dance, whatever performance, they always been down.
Love that. And I saw you had some with you recently. I want to get into that.
Yeah.
That's, I love that, man. And then from there, after you made that first song, did you put it out right away? Or did you kind of hold on to it for yourself?
Which one? The first song?
The first song. What was it called again?
Oh, Dead to Me.
Dead to You.
That one, yeah. That one. So I first made that track, and I held on to it for a little bit, and then I ended up showing it to like my family and my girls, because when I first started writing my music, my mom was very like, oh, she wants to hear like the first song that's recorded that's mine.
Right.
So I kind of showed it to like my brother and my dad and my mom first, and they were kind of like, oh my god, like got to keep going with it. And then I showed it to my like friends, and they're like, hey, you have to put this out. So it was, then they kind of motivated me to like put it out there on social media. So yeah, I held on to it for about like a month or two, and then yeah, I put it out.
I asked that because that's like a whole other thing. Like making the music is one thing, but then letting other people listen to it.
Yeah, it is. For me, when I was like I first started getting into like writing my own music, it was a really big thing for me for people to even like hear myself. Even till this day, I still be like, you know, I'll send it to my friend and be like, don't listen to it in front of me. I don't know. I'm just like that. But like before, I used to be like worse. I was like, so anxious about showing people. But then it's just about like, you know, you have to have confidence in your stuff, you know, no matter what. So
I definitely get that, man. Is it because it's like it's personal to you? Right?
It's personal. Yeah. Like a lot of times, like when I make certain songs, especially if they're personal, I'm very like, yeah.
Absolutely, because that's you. Like that's your emotions.
Yeah, it's all me. That's all me. Like giving it, you know, being vulnerable and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome though that you got a positive push from that.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that, you know, went like that, and then this made me more like motivated to put more music out there and keep going with it.
Love that, man. And then from there, did you just go all in, basically?
Yeah, honestly, from there, you know, I met a couple people like my friend, my manager, Manny. He I met, shout out Manny MV.
Get it?
Yeah, and I met him, and he kind of like, I showed him one of my, after I dropped Dead to Me, I dropped another track. It was kind of like a rap track. It was called Cash. So I dropped that, and then I showed it to Manny, and he was like, okay, now you got to keep going with it. He was like, I'm down to work with you and everything. And we just started like from there. That's when it started taking off more, because I was just like taught how to put music on, like, you know, distribute it on like Spotify. I just started to learn that from like him. So from there is when I'm like, hey, I got to keep going with it and be consistent and keep up with it.
That's amazing, man. I like that you said like you learned how to post it, and like, cause that's a whole other side.
As in, there's a whole bunch of like layers to the whole music industry stuff.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start like doing the performances in the city?
Oh, okay, yeah. With performances in the city, like my own music, I started doing that with I think I seen an event posted one time on social media, and I was like, it was saying how there's artists that can sign up for the city. So I DM'd them and I signed up for it, and they let me do it. So I went to that event. It was like, I forget where it was, but it was like an event where it was near the highway. It was like an outside event. Okay. But I brought all my girls there. It was like my first time performing my own songs. So, and then I did that. And then when I did that, it was good, and I met other like people there as well, and they were like, you know, connected with them, and they enjoyed it. They wanted to know more about my music, and then from there I just kept like networking, and then that was my first performance. I think it was I don't know if you know what this is, Freddie Fame.
It sounds very familiar.
Yeah, he's a host like for like events, but I did like, it was his event. Okay. And then just started from there, and then from then I just started, you know, keeping a lookout for more events, and then just took off from that.
One break at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Real shit. That first event, was that nerve-wracking for you? Yeah,
that was really nerve-wracking. I remember being super nervous for that one. Out of all my events that I did, the first one was definitely the most nerve-wracking one.
Absolutely. I'm sure most people would say that.
Yeah, no, definitely most people would say that, because the first time you're kind of like, especially if you're performing your own music, you're like, oh shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was that one where you were smoking before?
Oh yeah. That is one. A couple times, my first couple performances, you know, I would just smoke before to ease the nerves. Like, I still do, but I don't really do it like right away, like before my performance type of shit. But I was doing that, yeah.
Love that. I'm a smoker too, and like sometimes when you get too faded, you know, it's like, oh gosh.
It's good, you know, for a little studio session, whatever, but sometimes when you're doing a performance, it depends on like what you do. Like, you know, a lot of the like these rappers are good because like they have like, I think it's because you're so used to it too. True. Like they're like, and they do rap and stuff. So it's like when you're like grown into that, it's also something you're like, okay, if you're used to it and it comes naturally, then you're fine. But for me, I feel like I just notice a difference. So I always try to like, you know, just like self-discipline myself a little bit.
Yeah, that's real, man.
And then treat myself.
Hell yeah. When the work's done, let's party.
Yeah.
Love that, man. That's a good point, though, because, like, with rapping and smoking and shit, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Singing, I feel like it's a bit of a different culture.
It is different, because, I don't know, ever since I was just, like, young, I just remember how I was taught. So, just, like, from that, I'm always very, like, when I go to studio or when I do, like, a live thing, I'm always very precise in how I want my vocals to sound and, like, how I practice. Yeah.
Are you a perfectionist?
Honestly, I am, but I don't like to, like, you know, be too much like that, because just, like, I just want things to, like, you know, come naturally instead of being, like, making sure it's perfect, because it doesn't gotta be perfect. It's gotta be how, like, you know, it feels, like, how it feels to you. That's what's most important.
I completely agree. That's what good
Yeah.
music is.
Yeah, if it feels like, you
science.
know, if it feels like that's that vibe and that's how you're feeling and it's like given that, then
Real shit.
Mm-hmm.
Their listeners gotta feel kind of what you're feeling.
yeah, that's
know?
what like that's why I like a lot of people who like listeners who do listen to my music. Like I have this one track that I really like. It's an R&B track. It's called Reality.
Okay.
And I get a lot of compliments on that song specifically because it's like it's one of my like R&B guitar soul type of tracks. And that one's kind of like a vulnerable track too, but I get the most compliments on that because it's like a raw song. And like I put a lot of emotion and like vulnerability into it, and people can hear that, and they can like just like feel that.
Absolutely.
And they're like, you know, they like that song the most because that's like they can really feel that, how like the passion towards, you know, the song and everything.
Completely agree, man. Because even like the people I like to listen to, it's not
Mm-hmm.
because of their voice is the most like best trained.
Yeah.
This and that. It's the feeling. Like
It's the feeling,
you know,
literally. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's really what it's all about.
Like literally when like for my other like when I was younger, when I was listening to music, I used to just like going to school or like even after school, after like practice, I used to like on my like off days, I just like listen to headphones on the bus and just like listen to music and just go like sometimes I would miss my stop and I have to wait and like okay whatever, I'm listening to music so I'm good. Wait, yeah, no, I just be vibing and that's how like I want to feel. Like when I get that type of feeling from a track, I'm like okay, like that's what it's all about.
Facts.
You know?
Big facts, man. So are you someone that if like you make a track and you listen back to it, you're not super crazy about it, you'll toss it or put it to the side?
If I make like a crazy track that I'm even like, you know, fucking with, I usually will listen to that like a bunch of times. I can't even lie. Cause like if I really like it and it clicked to me, then and I'm like feeling like that, then that means like hey, I just made a banger.
I love when artists say they listen to their own music.
Yeah, no, I
not?
do. I like to like, you know, especially like just for like critiquing too. I'm a type of person like I'll make a track and then I'll like it and then sometimes like I'll listen to it too much though and then I'll be like wait, what did I say here? I don't like how that sounds, and then I have to go back and then I'm like I'll fix it. But then I'm kind of I'll be happy when I do that because it like makes the track so much better.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure from like now compared to when you started making your own music,
Mm-hmm.
you've seen a huge kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
growth in yourself with that.
Huge difference, definitely. Yeah, the more like you know you get into it and you like you know be consistent with it and like you teach yourself more and you educate yourself and all like how everything works, the more like you learn. And even like me, I'm learning more about myself every day. So
It's the best way, man. You never stop learning.
no,
That's
no,
real shit.
no shit. True.
You have a project out called Popular Loner.
Oh
correct?
yeah, that's one of my
Check
EPs,
that
my
out.
latest
Your
EPs.
latest EP. That was about a year ago now, right?
Yeah, about a year ago.
I really enjoyed that. I listened to that. You got a lot of songs
Yeah,
out, by the way,
that's
which
one
I
of
fuck with.
the songs I was telling you about. Reality. That's
on there.
Yeah, it's on there.
Talk to me about. I got some questions about that for you, but first, kind of just talk
Yeah.
about that. You know,
For sure.
process of Popular Loner.
So for Popular Loner, I made that EP about like it was before I even dropped it. I made it about like 6 months ago. 6 months like before I put it out. But I think I first made the track Popular Loner number 5. That's that's what the EP is called. But I made a track on it called that, and I remember making that track. It was back when I was just like getting into like consistently like making music, and I think that I was so busy with like work and even like going to like performances and networking with people. I just like I don't know why I thought Popular Loner came to my head, because I remember one time someone came up to me like when I started doing like events. Like I used to just like go like on my ones. I still to this day go to by myself sometimes, and people are always like, oh, like you know everybody, but like you're always just like, you know, chilling to yourself. And I'm like, yeah, you know, but when you're on stage it's like a whole different story. And then after, you know, I just be like that. Like I don't know, I like, you know, I'm with the vibes and everything, but like I like to be like, you know, sometimes in my zone. So I don't know why. My mom used to call me like that too. Like you're like, you know, you're like a popular loner. So like I just like, okay. It always just coming to me. I'm like, what do I want to name my EP? I'm like, how have I been feeling? How have I been feeling nowadays? And then Popular Loner just came to my head.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I relate to that because I feel similarly. Like I like
Yeah.
to be around people, but I love to be on my own.
Yeah,
too, you
no,
know?
exactly. It's like I'm an introvert but extrovert at the same time. So it's like, you know, it's called popular loner.
I love that, man. I love that name, man.
Yeah, no, I fuck with it
get
too.
man, 'cause
You get it, eh?
I definitely get it, because you need that both. Like, if you just started all day being at events and being around people, I feel like maybe, like, for me at least, that would be draining.
Yeah, no, it is a little draining. Me personally, like, I feel like that too. Like, I like to be like on my ones, but also connect with people as well.
Exactly, that balance, man. That's
balance.
That's that again. Popular loner.
Popular loner. Yep.
Love that. Do you get intimidated going to events by yourself?
No, never. Like, I just be in my zone. To be honest, sometimes I'm in my own little world. It can be a little bit off when people are like, "Why are you by yourself?" Nah, nah, nah. You know, but it's cool. Like, you know, it's cool. 'Cause people are like, you know, they want to include me and everything. But like, I just be like, you know, I'm just easing into it first, and then like, you know, then I see what's up. I like to feel the vibe out. I'm very observant, so that's why. Yeah.
Love that, cause if you're observant, you can see kind of what's going on.
Yeah, that's kind of where it comes out. Like, you know, me being like that. It's kind of like chilling on my ones, and then I'm like, you know, then I'm like, I get into it because it's just like I'm just observing at my environment first.
Exactly. I've had situations, I don't know if you've had this happen, where you check it out, it's cool, but it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Dip,
yeah, no, I've had those times too. And sometimes it's just yourself. Like, you know, if you're just like, okay, this may not be like my vibe tonight, you know, I have fun, but that's my cue. That's how I've been feeling too.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? It's good to try that, because it's kind of what
you're
learning. Like,
you always gotta, like, you know, try to be out of your comfort zone. That's what I like to do, because sometimes, like, I tend to like just like hide in my little zone, be so I'm comfortable, but sometimes you can't do that. You have to like step out of your comfort zone in order to like learn and grow, because you're just gonna like stay at like what you know, what you like think you know is best. But when you step out of that and you realize, then you like, you know, that's where growth comes in.
Very well said, man. I completely agree with you. You said you're only 20?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy, because that's real wisdom, man.
Real wisdom, yeah,
That's
you know.
real wisdom.
Yeah, I know. I try to like, you know, tell myself at a like, you know, young age as to how like, you know, always stick to like who I am and never let whatever negative energy, you know, comes to me, don't let that switch my character. That's always been like something that I'm very like making sure that sticks with me.
I hear that in your music too, like that's a theme, like protecting your energy.
Yeah, that is very much of a theme for me, because I like to like, you know, project that in my music, because it's always been something like for me, you know, I've always been very protective of like my music and my energy, just because of like what I was around when I was younger in my past, and how even to this day how like certain environments are, you know. Yeah.
Facts. No, that's true, man, because something outside is not really vibing with you, it comes from you, you know?
Yeah, and like I've learned like the hard way before, like sometimes when you like, you know, you try to like be like in a way like fit in, you know, like when I was younger I used to be I learned like that, like, oh, maybe, you know, I do want to do this, but then inside it's like, no, you don't really want to do that. Like it's just kind of like whatever, it's kind of like peer pressure in a way, like kind of like in yourself. Like me, sometimes I tend to self-sabotage myself, and I'll do things that like, you know, I think I know it's not good for me, but like my but the other side of me is just like, no, do it, fuck it.
Yeah, like
you know?
Devil on the shoulder,
yeah, the devil angel on the shoulder. That's how it be sometimes, for real. That's how it be feeling.
It is, man, and that's real for you to say, because again, like we're still learning. Like,
yeah,
it's never a finished product.
Yeah, even to this day, it's how it be. You just gotta, you know, choose the right road, right path.
Try your best.
Try your best, best as you can. You know, you live and you learn.
You live and you learn, because you can make a mistake, but grow from it, learn.
Yeah, it's all about like what you do after. You know.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So you drop Popular Loner. How was the feedback from that?
It was really good. Like a lot of people, they really enjoyed that EP. And I'm glad I was able to make that project, because it was more like a personal type of mixtape that I wanted to put out for people, like sharing like my journey with other people and stuff.
That was very good, man. I love a project with a theme.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
I like that too. Like I really like to base my like EPs or albums off a theme, because like say I'm feeling a certain like way towards something in life, I like to base it off, you know, whatever, because it's kind of like therapy. It's like you had this one chapter, and then you close that chapter, then you're like, hey, that felt so much better. Like I got to like get that off my shoulders, and it's like, hey, everything just starts to make sense. Like for me, if I'm feeling like, you know, a certain way about something or somebody, I tend to just like write a track about it, and like it's given very much like Toronto Taylor Swift, but but I just be doing that because it's like my therapy. That's what I go to, So, yeah.
I love that, man. Again, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, you feel it. Like, it's,
yeah.
That's what, to me, great music is.
Yeah.
You can't be telling someone else's stories,
Yeah, no.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I see also you do, like, features and stuff like that. You were on a pretty big song, Mandatory Minimum.
Oh, yeah, with 380 Storm. Yeah, I've been doing a couple of features. I have a lot of, like, for this year, I have a lot of new features coming out. I have, the latest one I dropped was with Zero. Mm-hmm. I dropped, he just had a album that came out. I think it's called Honestly Nevermind, or Screen Time. I think he has a couple, like, Screen Time. He has album that's out. We did a track called Hold You. It's a sample from that, I forget his name, but that Hold You track. I have a track on his album.
That dancehall information.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's Bow Wow. Bow Wow. Okay. Him.
Shout
There's a shout out Bow Wow, the Bow Wow sample. And we did we did a track to that, and like, it was popping. He dropped it on his album. And then it was up from there, and make sure y'all stream that. Stream that Zero's Screen Time.
Screen Time, love it. Do you like collabing?
Oh yeah, I love collabing. I love, like, meeting new artists and connecting with them and just making music with like other talented artists. I love doing that. It's a vibe. People who I can relate to, who be doing the same thing that I do. Yeah.
No, that's real, man. Maybe learn from each other too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm always like, especially when I'm in like, I learn a lot from like certain rappers in Toronto because like they just be like freestyling sometimes. Mm-hmm. And like me personally, I'm not like too much. I'm not really the best at freestyling. I do sometimes but the more like seeing that sometimes even like teaches me, like I get inspired off that. I'm like, okay. And then I've even noticed it like even to this day now when I'm in the studio that I freestyle sometimes just because, oh shit, because I'm, watching and observing and learning and all that stuff. Yeah.
The environment you put yourself in, like, into you.
No, literally.
You're around someone that's not doing anything.
Yeah, then you're gonna, as the energy, you're gonna like vibration you're gonna be on. You gotta surround yourself by high vibrations.
I completely agree. Mm-hmm. You've always had that type of mentality?
Yeah, like, because I've been like, even like a couple years ago, the situation I've been put where it's like I thought like being in a low vibrational vibe with people, and I'll be good. Like sometimes I go through situations where it's like, oh, this is like a low vibration vibe, but I still gotta be on that, stick to myself and be on that wave because it doesn't matter what's around me. And that's what that's like the mentality I always go by because, it doesn't matter what type of energy you feel or like who's, saying what to you or hating. You just gotta, stick to like that higher self mentality. That's what I call it.
I love that, man. Mm-hmm. You're giving like real gems right
now.
Persuasion jewels.
Persuasion jewels.
Because you can never control what someone else does.
Yeah, you can never. No, just you only control how you react and how you move.
100%.
And I choose peace over drama all the time.
Isn't it nice to have just be chilling?
Yeah, no.
I don't have any problems right now.
Yeah, no.
Drama.
Yeah.
We always got problems.
Always ups and downs, but like I always choose peace because there's always gonna be encounters or like situations where they're gonna wanna bring that out of you, but you gotta just like be strong enough to just remember to like, okay, keep it cool.
Real shit. What are some strategies you do to kind of keep in that cool mentality?
Honestly, what I do is like, I just, just be how I am. And, like, as it was, if I was with my, people, my friends, if I'm chilling with them, I just stick to, like, how I be acting. Because sometimes, like, I'll tend to just be, like, more shy. And it's like, okay, never mind. But recently I just been like, no, you just gotta, like, stick it through and just keep being yourself. Like, doesn't matter, like, how you feel someone's feeling towards you. You just gotta, like, just vibe out. Just live, laugh, love. That's me.
Yo, real shit. I have this thing called Cliche Gang because
yeah.
Every episode, like, some cliches come up.
Yeah.
Because they're so true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's life.
Because you can't, like, everybody got their own shit going on sometimes, and sometimes they bring it out. Like, they just bring that energy out on, like, wherever they go to, what environment. And sometimes you can't take that personal.
100% agree. No. Yeah, exactly. It's not about you. It's
about
them.
Yeah. So you just got to worry about what you got going on and just stick to, like, how your vibe is at.
Love that, and that's gonna take you very far.
Yeah.
That's just focusing on what you
just sticking to that.
On, yeah.
That's the goal.
Even what you're saying earlier, like you realize as a kid, like, fitting in is not the
Yeah.
shit. It's
No.
yourself,
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Literally.
I love that, man. So, yo, you consider yourself in the Toronto industry?
Honestly, I do because that's where I'm from.
You are.
I'm from the six. Like I'm always gonna like rep where I'm from, and always be like a Toronto artist.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, but I definitely want to like expose that to more like globally.
Yeah.
100%. But like that's just because where I'm from, always gonna be like I'm definitely part of the Toronto industry.
Absolutely, and it's a big scene, and I feel like it's coming up too.
Yeah, and like for me, honestly, I've heard a lot of like, especially like in the city. I feel like for Toronto, it's very like not difficult, but you do have to put in like a little bit more work to like get put your work out there, because it's just about how like the people are in the city. Because a lot of people who like show love, but also a lot of people who just be like straight distant. But that's just how it is everywhere.
Exactly.
But with like when it comes to like the city here, I guess like how Toronto is, come so used to it, maybe it's just like there's just a certain way people like be like, and like I have a lot of people tell me, oh, you should like you need to go out of the city, out of somewhere, because you're not gonna get nowhere here. But it's like I always hit that as in like, okay, bet.
Let's try me.
Yeah, that's the type of like, because ever since I started even getting into this stuff, a lot of people are like, that's where it is, and it's true though. It is like states. There's a lot of opportunities, but like I'm so stubborn where I'm like, nah, I need to like, I'm trying to put them on just now. I'm trying to put my city on right now and show them what's up. So I just gotta keep grinding.
I agree with you, man, because, if you go somewhere else before you're established here,
Yeah.
you gotta get established there, too.
Yeah. It makes sense, though, but it's like, it's just like, since it's my city, I'm just so more like, I want, like, from here first. But it's like, you definitely gotta go to the States to even get some interaction here, too.
Absolutely. It's part of growing, too.
It's part of growing, though, too.
100%.
All about how, your like, your music journey goes. Yeah.
Absolutely, bro. I asked you that question just to hear your experiences so far, because it is competitive in the city. There's so many people, a lot of people doing their thing.
Yeah.
Have there been like challenges that you faced while being involved?
I feel like the only challenges I face is kind of like dealing with myself and like the people in my head. Sometimes like sometimes I feel like I have like three sides to me. Sometimes like my higher self and like my shadow self. Like I have like always have something going on, and my mind is always running. So it's just kind of the challenge is kind of basically myself. I always say like it's like me versus me, not me versus them, because like the hustle is like personal. So it's like I always go by that, but it's definitely, I realize the challenge is definitely like it's you. It's like you gotta like every day I'm trying to like challenge who I was yesterday.
I love that, man. You're speaking my language.
Yeah,
Persuasion.
you already know. You know what's up.
That's fucking like just real shit. Like if I can take care of myself, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Not me,
No, that's
real.
that's what you have to go by, because if you stress too much on shit, you're just gonna like lose your mind. And I've learned that already the hard way. So it's like you gotta just like protect your peace, and like what you have pure intentions for what you want. And like I said, like you don't gotta worry about who and what is doing whatever.
Because that's always gonna happen. There's always gonna be bullshit.
Yeah, especially with social media going on, it's very like easy to get like influenced on things where maybe not even be like what you're trying to be on. But since it's like, oh, this is what everybody's doing, so hop on it.
Yep.
So you can get that interaction going. And it's like, yeah, okay, like I'm down, but it's like I always like wanted to like do different as much as I want to do better.
100%. Because the trend is cool, but it's not.
Yeah.
Not real. Like
it's not like if you don't want to do it. Like it's cool if I want to do something. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I want. But it's like if I don't want to do it and I'm doing it because somebody like people like that's what they want, it makes me like I'm a type of person when you tell me to do something so much, I'm gonna bat myself up more. Push myself away from it.
Exact same, man. I love that.
Stubborn.
Yo, I'm stubborn too. That
right?
Like, yo, you go this way, I go this way.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah. You have to meet me halfway or meet me my way.
Big facts. Because, you know yourself.
Yeah.
If you do this and your heart's not really in it,
then it's not going to, like, it's not going to give what you think it's going to give.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Real shit, man. Also, I saw you did some videos with my homie Dimitri, the shooter.
Oh, yeah? No, shout out Dimitri. Nah, he's sick. He's sick with it. I did do a couple of music videos with him. Actually, one of my, like, favorite music videos that I have out, Gifted.
Yep.
It's another one of my rap tracks. he shot that and he did freaking amazing on that. That's one of my like popular videos.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, bro. I love that guy.
No, he is. I actually am shooting with him for my next music video coming up this month.
Let's go, man. I'm geeked for that.
Yeah, me too. I'm super excited. I have my friend who's another upcoming artist in the city. His name's Ace. Yeah, you know, shout out Ace. We have a song coming out this end of the month.
I'm excited, man.
Working on that.
Perswasian shooter collab again. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Love that. Yeah, you were talking your shit on there. Who's your rap influence?
Who's my rap influence? Yeah. Honestly, Tory Lanez is kind of like my rap influence. A little bit like Lil Durk too.
Okay.
You know, and I listen to so many female like rappers too. So it's kind of like, you know, like Lotto. I don't know if you know who that is. I don't. She's popping. I always like fucked with her, and like it's a lot of like there's so much like female rappers, so I like always get inspired off them. But like when it comes to like my stuff, like I really go off by like Tory Lanez because he's always been like a favorite of mine, like from all time, because he's from like the city and everything, and just like, you know.
Legend, man. What do you think about what's happened with him?
Oh, honestly, yeah. I don't know. No comment for me, but all I know is like music wise, I've always like been inspired from him. So,
yeah,
you know.
He's dope. And you know what? I like that you brought that up because he sings and raps and shit too.
Yeah, no, like he sings and raps too. So it's like I've always been like, damn, like he does both of that too. And like the bars too, I've always been like, that's where like, you know, the bars and like the lyrics, I get like inspired off him the most because he does have really like the lyrics is where it be hidden different.
Yeah, no, Tory's sick, man. But yo, I like your rapping because you got like this very like passionate, like aggressive, but very feminine.
But like feminine quality, yeah. Because I be like kind of like it's kind of like melodic rap a little bit, like kind of like singing rap in a way, but like not like in certain parts I'm just like rapping my shit.
Talking your shit for sure. Hell yeah. Do you still say singing is your like your baby?
Yeah, honestly, singing is always gonna be like my strongest like trait because like it's what I grew up with, and like I feel like it's always gonna be something that I know I'm the strongest in. Like if I had to choose, like if I had to go somewhere, sing, rap, or dance, I would sing.
I like that.
And then I would or dance and then rap. I feel like because like I'm beginning to like love rap and like rapping like how I'm doing it too. But it's just like I'm still like definitely educating myself on, you know, how I want to go about it with my stuff.
Hell yeah, man. You're on the journey.
Yeah.
Real shit. So, yo, I know we're approaching an hour. I just wanted to ask you about one more thing.
Yeah.
You just had a really sick performance. I saw some videos.
Yep.
Talk about that a little bit. How'd that go?
Yeah, so it was like last weekend, I think. It was Meet the Six event where there was Duvy and like her baby Peppa performing. And yeah, I was able to get on there. And shout out to Team 24/7 and Elevate Events. Yeah, for they put me on that. And I was one of the only female artists performing. So I opened the show. And it was like I bring my backup dancers. We worked on that set for a couple weeks. And we just, you know, gave it our all. And it was lit. Like the crowd was actually like one of the best crowds I'd probably like, you know, performed for. Everyone was going crazy, and like, cause like, you know, seeing Duvy and her baby Peppa, I personally listened to them, so seeing them was like live too, and like I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed like watching all the artists perform. It was a vibe. It was like, you know, it was my type of scene.
Love that. And yeah, I'm sure the audience was kind of like, in a weird way, like, oh, I'm down to see a girl perform.
Yeah, cause like honestly, when I went out, they didn't really expect me to do all of that. I was kind of give that. Like, you're like, oh shit, I didn't expect you to do all that. Yeah. But I was just, cause I do dance too. Like once I get in my mode, especially when, like when I'm performing, I'm like, I'm just in it, like acting how I do, like Persuasion.
Hell yeah,
so like people are like, who is this girl acting like? And she's like, I'm just like all like I'll be like all in their face and stuff, and like. They're like, damn. So it was I guess it was, yeah.
You caught their attention.
Yeah.
Which is what you're supposed to do.
That's what, stage, you know, man. That was the goal.
Real shit.
Yeah.
And, yo, just to ask you, like, you dress like, you know, you I saw what you were wearing that night. Go check that out.
Yeah.
But, like, that's part of your image. Is that
yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I definitely like to go by how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling like, you know, I'm trying to be in that vibe, you know, in my mood, like Ice Spice says, and I'm be in my mood and dress, you know, dress accordingly today.
Yeah, man. Because, yo, rock star shit, like, you got to do it.
And some rock star, superstar shit.
Hell yeah.
100%.
I love that. Shout out Ice Spice too. You
Shout out
fuck with
Ice
her?
Spice. Yeah, no, she is. A lot of like female artists in the industry coming up, now as they should. Especially in
yeah.
Toronto, there's a couple like, a lot of female artists coming up
We
too.
need more female energy, man.
We do need more female energy for sure. I've been seeing though, like especially with a lot with the like rap industry in Toronto. I've seen a lot of girls coming out and they're doing their thing.
Hell
So
yeah.
as they should, and I'm glad to see that.
No, I love it, man. I love to see that. Actually, one last question. I'm sorry.
What's that? No.
Yo, it being a girl in the industry, do you feel like you gotta be like even more on your toes, like, because I think it's male dominated, correct?
Yeah, especially in the city, it could be like that.
A lot of men.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that uncomfortable at times, or you just
Honestly, like it does, to my like head sometimes. I'm like, okay, it does make like for a lot of like even other female being a female in the industry, you do have to like be more like put in work 10 times 10. But I love a challenge, so I always just go by that because it's always gonna be like that, with the females. But you just gotta like, just gotta be in the game, and you just gotta focus on what you want, what vision you want to bring to the world.
great attitude, man. I love your attitude.
Yeah, I try. Like that's how I gotta be. Like if that's what who I am myself, then I gotta bring that out of me.
Real shit, man. You're not a victim. Like you're a star.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah. Like gotta shine. Yeah.
Love it, man. Yo, Persuasion, I really appreciate you, man. This was an awesome
Of course.
conversation.
No, for real. I appreciate you too.
Super dope. I want to give you the chance to like promote. You got any
Yeah.
projects you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote?
Yeah.
Feel free.
So I definitely got a couple music videos coming out. I have a remix coming out this month. Actually, it's coming out this week. It's the Best I Ever Had remix, the Drake song.
No way.
Yeah, I did a remix to it. I have it on my Instagram, so y'all can check that out. It's probably gonna be like out by now, but yeah, it's a throwback track. I decided to do that because it's been my favorite track, and I'm like, hey, I gotta like show. And no one's really done a female version of it, so I'm like, you know what? Who knows? Maybe Jersey will see it and be like, oh shit, who's this? But I just like I want to do it because that's just one of my tracks, and like I even did a remix to Proud Family, Tory Lanez, so that was another track. I like doing remixes and covers. But yeah, that's another thing I have coming out. I have a music video in the works that's gonna be coming out for early next month. So that's a big project
You're
that I'm
working,
excited.
man. You always have something coming. Like
Yeah.
if you check out Persuasion's IG, like there's
Yeah.
always some new project.
Yeah, no, I got
never
to.
just
I like
stale.
to, money don't sleep, the grind don't stop. That's
Big
you
facts.
gotta keep going with it, and that's it. You gotta just keep being consistent. I also have a couple of shows coming up for this month. April 28th is Dreams to Reality. It's the Drip Room event. Shout out to Drip Room, you already know. It's gonna be a bunch of talented artists over there, and also. On April 20th with mentioning Zero, he's gonna be performing there as well with it's gonna be YBA there, Fame Holiday. I'm gonna be performing with Zero, one of our tracks, and yeah, it's gonna be lit.
City?
It's it's in the city. I think it's somewhere. It'll be posted on my IG.
Yeah. I'm excited for that, man. Yo, Best I Ever Had, still your favorite Drake song?
Oh yeah,
Love
yeah.
that.
I like also Proud of You.
It's a good-
A lot of his
Yeah.
OG tracks are kind of more my style.
You know what's funny, man? At the time, like I was in high school when that shit came out.
Yeah.
So, like, I used to kind of make fun of it, like, oh, this is emotional shit.
Yeah.
Then I get a little older, I'm like, this is bad.
And then it's like, okay, it's different now.
It works,
Yeah.
I love that, man. I'm gonna look out for that. Shout out
Definitely.
Persuasion. What's your IG? Like, where can the people find you?
Yeah, y'all can find me at persuasion.w. That's PERSWASIAN.w. Y'all can find me on there. You already know.
Where's the name come from? I gotta
Oh,
ask
yeah,
that,
yeah.
actually.
Oh, everybody, I love when people ask me this question. So, persuasion comes from, I do spell persuasion in a different way too. So people are probably like, why should you spell it like that? So, when I first started getting into music, I was trying to come up with a name. And, I was with my girls and I was trying to think of something. I was thinking of something with Asian. Because when I was like in high school growing up, people always ask me what my ethnicity was. And they're like, you're Spanish, right? I'm like, no, I'm Filipino and Irish. That's my mix. So people, oh, you're Asian. That was like a thing where like, you know, you're Blasian or Asian, white Asian. Yeah. So it was like, oh, you're that Asian girl. Like when people like would see me at parties, I don't know why that first comes to their head that, oh, you're Asian. That's a Asian girl. And then it's like, yeah.
Yeah, like who cares?
Yeah, no, exactly. And then, but when I got older, like, I don't know what came to me. I was thinking like persuasion came to my mind already, but I'm like, persuasion's too like this. I already know a bunch of people named Persuasion. And I'm like, wait. Persuasion. I don't know how it came to me, but it just came to me. I was probably smoking weed then too, so it was like, oh shit,
it's the common
Persuasion.
thread.
Yeah,
I like that. It works so, especially for what you're doing. Like,
yeah, it works out though. I was
work.
surprised. I'm like, okay, that works really well. I don't think anybody has that name, so
like
let me
that,
just
man.
stick to
Yeah,
that
no,
and
I know.
claim that. Yep.
Persuasion, man.
Persuasive
Shout out
Persuasion.
Follow Persuasion. Go check out everything that she's has out. Everything coming out. Shout out everybody. Shout out everyone doing their thing.
Yeah.
Persuasion. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too a lot. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. You already know.
Appreciate that, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. You know. Let's get it. 2023. We're out here.